Again, welcome to this presentation. Please feel free to put your questions in the chat box, and we'll get to those throughout the presentation tonight. So again, we're here tonight to talk to you about Kansas State University's food science master's degrees. And again, just so that you can put a face to the name, we have Brittany Burgess on the line. She's the senior admissions representative for Global Campus here at K-State. We also have Diane Leone online. She's the admissions representative at Global Campus here at K-State. And then we also have Dr. Scott Smith. And Dr. Scott Smith really is an important member of our team and someone that you would be interacting with pretty regularly, as he's the chair of the Food Science Graduate Program. I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Smith here in a few minutes. I just want to go through just a couple things before Dr. Smith takes the reins of the presentation. And again, I'm Jeanette Thurston. I'm the director of the Food Science Institute. You see all of our emails there. Feel free to reach out to us anytime if you have any questions. And if you prefer using a phone, which I think a lot of folks don't use as much anymore, you can find our phone information on our website. So, I want to start off by just kind of doing a really fun activity. If you guys are familiar with Mentimeter, we're going to go do one of those tonight, and we're going to create a couple word clouds. So if I can share my screen, I have so many boxes in my way. Let's see here. Sorry, it takes me a couple minutes. I've got all these Zoom things in front of me. So hopefully, can you all see that? Brittany, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is how it works. If you guys have a cell phone nearby, or I think you can even use your computers, you go ahead and I keep getting boxes in front of my screen. You go to www.menti.com, do this on your phone. And then when you get there, it should be asking you for a code. If you put in the code, it's 6367946. And this information is at the very top of the slide. You should come up with this first question. And so what we would like you to do is provide up to 3 words that describe why you want an advanced degree in food science. And so I'll give everyone a few moments. And as you start putting those words in, and if you could try to put in the 3 words, that'd be great, because we'd have a much stronger word map. All right, so some folks are starting to put their words in. Yeah, okay, diversifying, career, advancing your career. I think those probably go together. Curiosity, okay. Promotion, absolutely. You're very ambitious, fantastic. Curiosity, boy, food science is the right program for you if you have a high level of curiosity. Knowledge, career advancement, stability, passion. Oh, I love it. You taking these in, Dr. Smith? This is great.
I better get one of these degrees.
Yeah, that's right. Sign me up. All right. Development, interest, stability, growth, fulfillment. Love it. Absolutely. Food technology. Money, yeah, and promotion. Those all go together. Okay, I think it's slowing down here. It looks like we have 15 people who have voted. Brittany, how many folks do we have on the line?
It looks like 21.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, and what's going to happen is if you want to go ahead and put your words in later, that's okay. This code and this site is good for the next 24 hours. So if you want to add to it, I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next activity. If I can get in here. Okay. Okay, so the next question is related to that. So this question really is, why are you here tonight? So provide up to 3 words that describe what you have heard about K-State's food science program and why you want to hear more. So hopefully you're seeing that on your phones. If not, you might have to go back into www.menti.com and use that same code again. Okay, so some are coming in because the program is versatile. Absolutely, you're going to hear more about that here in just a few minutes, about the broad flexibility in our programs. Online learning, yeah, it makes being able to have a family and have a job and get your degree, advance your knowledge all at the same time. Is recommended. We have a lot, K-State there's a lot of K-Staters out there in the world. You'll see that here in the next slide. Online learning, flexible, web, oh, you saw it on the webpage, fantastic. Strong, yep, we have a very strong tradition here at K-State in food science. And in fact, the online program has been going since, I believe it's 2001. Is that right, Dr. Smith? Or 2002? 2001.
2001.
Well recognized, online learning, advanced, self-paced, interesting, remote, accredited, absolutely. Yeah, we are accredited institution. Our undergrad program is approved through the Institute of Food Technologists. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move off here. Feel free to add some more in. Oh, looks like we have a few more. So just if you've never seen one of these word clouds before, the larger words means that's a word that more people use. So I think a lot of people that have responded to this question, quite a few felt like what was important about this is an online program. It was recommended by somebody and that is very versatile. And agree, those are all very true. So I am gonna get out of there and go back to my slideshow. So thanks so much. Actually those questions actually give us a lot of information about our programs and trying to understand better what you're looking for so that we can improve our programs going forward. Can you see my slides, guys?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so I don't think I have to tell any of you on the line, you're seeking a master's degree in food science. You obviously know something about food science, but just as a reminder, career opportunities go across the food system for food scientists, right? From the production all the way to the consumer. There are a wide variety of opportunities. And in fact, you can go ahead and go to our website and you can view this map. Now this map spans about, I think it's about 10 years of food science graduates and just those graduates that were able to give us information so we can populate this map. So this map will show you not only all the various careers that food science students have gotten after leaving K-State, but also where they are in the world. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this to show you. And I think I have to stop sharing to show you. So there it is. You can go and you can view this map yourself on our website. What I recommend doing is just taking a look at really drilling in where folks are. So for example, we have a graduate in France. This person works for the Mars Corporation. This person had a bachelor's degree and is now working as a global technical audit lead. If we look in the United States, if you want to stay closer to home, there's a lot more data. A lot of our graduates have stayed around the United States. So for example, I'll just click on one. I don't know what I'm clicking on. This person, okay, has a master's degree. They're working for Archer Daniels Midland. They're a beverage application manager in Decatur, Illinois. So this is a really nice map to show the incredible diversity of positions and places our graduates end up after a K-State food science education. So sorry I have to go back and forth like this. I know this is awkward. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen again. This is my PowerPoint. All right, so moving on. So here's our website. So if you want to look at that map a little bit more, if you want to view our faculty that are in the department, that are across the institute. And so the Food Science Institute and the program is an interdisciplinary program. I probably should have said that up front to you all. This program spans across 5 colleges, about 13 different departments, and there's a wide range of faculty with a wide range of expertise in food science or in areas related to food science. And you can view all that on our website, https://foodsci.kstate.edu. And it sounds like some of you have already visited our website, and that's what's brought you here tonight, which is fantastic. So just a little bit of background. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Smith. But K-State University's master's degrees, we have 3 different options that are available to online students. The first one is a non-thesis or a non-report option. This is coursework only. This is a pretty popular option for our online students. We also have a report option, and that's an option that can be for both campus and online. And then of course, we also have a thesis option. This is pretty rare for our online students, but it's absolutely possible. Dr. Smith and I were just talking about one of our recent graduates who worked for Ocean Spray. And she did a research project at Ocean Spray. And so she did the thesis option, and she did a fantastic job. So students in our master's online program, there's a lot of benefits to it. Obviously, I think some of you also talked about, in our word cloud, we saw the word flexibility. So this is a great option for a non-traditional graduate student, somebody who is working full-time, maybe has a family at home, has a lot of other things going on. So this is a really great option. It offers that flexibility and for you to be able to actually get your education while working. Most students are employed full-time, in fact, and a lot of them are in the food industry as well. And for some of our students, the employer actually will pay part or all of their tuition and fees. So this might be something you might want to talk to your supervisor about and seeing if there's any kind of program at your company to help pay for tuition and fees. And so, of course, getting a master's degree, going beyond that bachelor's really increases your knowledge and skills and makes you more competitive for career advancement. And we saw that again on the word cloud. Some of you are here tonight because you're looking for career advancement. You're looking for promotion. You're looking for that bump up in salary. So you're in the right place. So again, food science is an interdisciplinary graduate program. We have graduate faculty again across 5 colleges and 12 departments here at K-State University. We have about 50 food science graduate faculty that can serve on your committees. And actually that number is growing. So we're pretty excited. We have a pretty great team. So I think I'm going to stop there, Dr. Smith. You think you're ready?
Sure.
Yep.
Are you going to keep yours slides up? You can just flip through them. Is that okay? Then we don't get disrupted and everything. Okay, this one here, we have a global campus support staff for registration, accounting, and assisting with marketing. You would have a designated graduate faculty advisor, and that would be with us. And what we do is when the students apply, it comes in and we have the online application system, and then we can look at what the students' interests are. And sometimes it doesn't matter, but sometimes we'll match them up with a faculty member that might have an interest in that area. I was the advisor for the student that did the thesis at Ocean Spray Cranberry, and she indicated she wanted to do a thesis, and I said, well, I don't know about that because it's sort of hard to do sometimes with the company secrets and proprietary information, and I'm interested in anthocyanins and colors, so we got matched up there, and it worked out pretty good. So and she did a really good job, and actually got it published in a refereed paper. But we do have a graduate faculty, and if they get stuck, I help them out. Sometimes I communicate with all our faculty on how their students are doing and everything like that. So the courses are captured on a lot of them are captured from on-campus lectures using what's called a media site video system. That's a way that we can record videos or overlay on voiceover on a PowerPoint or something of that course. And then we use the Canvas system, which some of you are probably familiar with that, or Blackboard or something like that. And another thing I should mention is almost all our classes are asynchronous. And we do it that way. Most of our students love it that way because when it's synchronous, you have to be there at a certain time. If you're working during the day, it's sort of hard to maybe get in to see a live lecture. And at night, you might go home and you're tired and you just don't want to deal with it. So it's at your pleasure you can look at it. And we sort of track when people look at it. We see a lot of our students are looking at the material at night and on the weekends. And so it comes in real handy for that. And one thing that we're really proud of is a lot of our courses match right up with what's taught on campus. There's going to be a little bit of difference. It's not live like it is on campus, but you're getting pretty much the same material, very close. So we can go on to the next one. By the way, I see I have a couple of people I've already talked with. How y'all doing? You said you were going to be on this. Critical to the program, we have a lot of distance graduate courses, and we have one sheet that's online on our website that you can see some of the courses, examples of courses that are offered. And at least 70 online courses, maybe even 90. I wasn't sure of exact number, but if it fits within your committee and your interest and it's relevant, we will probably let you take the course. Usually we don't say no. Everyone, if it's underwater basket weaving, yeah, no, you can't take that. But generally speaking, we try to work with the student. If they have special interest, especially with their job or something, we try to work on that. And students will have a committee, at least 2 faculty members, plus your major professor. So there's 3 committee members that will work with you on that. Okay, you can go to the next one here. Okay, I don't want to go into this too much, but we do the master's non-thesis option. We do have some required courses that need to be taken. Block A are 12 credits, and Block B is 3 to 5 courses out of this list. And and you need a total of 34 credits. So generally you're going to have 12 to 14 credits, maybe a little bit more to play with for other courses outside of this list right here. If some of you may have an undergraduate degree in food science, if it's a course you took as an undergraduate, quite often we will waive that course. So if it's in block A and you have an undergraduate degree in food science, you're going to have food micro, so we're not going to make you take it again. Same thing for food chemistry. So we try to be flexible on that. So, and that's not an issue. So, but these are all the courses we pretty much offer here on campus to the graduate students and undergraduates here at K-State on campus. Next, what have we got here? Since the launch of the on-ground program in fall, it's fall of 2002. I'm guessing, I don't have an exact count, but we probably graduated close to maybe 225 to 250 students have graduated. Right now, we're averaging about 10 to 15 that make a defense and do their final exam per semester. We currently have 65 students in our program that are just doing the online option, and plus the PhDs and MS on campus students too. The very last item, a majority of our graduates are employed in the food industry, and I like to talk to the students if they don't have a background in food science, depending on what they're doing. I usually try to encourage them to get into the food industry first, maybe for a year or 2, and that this is this all depends, get in with a company and then pursue the master's degree. And even our undergraduates will finish up a bachelor's degree here on campus, and they will go out and rather than stay on campus, they'll go out and give the company and they'll come back with us with the master's online degree. And that way, if you're with a company, some companies do pay 100% of the cost. I'm not going to name them, but some of the bigger ones will pay 100%, or some of them will give you an allocation. I have a couple students that the company gives them $6,000 a year to help cover the courses. So it's not everything, but it'll help quite a bit. And you can usually expect, probably if you leave within 2 years after you get the degree, you'll have to pay it back. So some of them don't do that, but a lot of them do. So that's fair though. Anyway, so most of our students are in the food industry. And as faculty, we really enjoy this because it's a learning experience for us. When we see their presentations and what they're doing in their companies, it's just really a growth experience for all of us too. Next one. And here's one of our success stories. And we have lots of these. And this is Martha Hunt. She actually did an undergraduate degree here on campus and went out, and she's now with Kellogg's, and she's a product development person there. And she was, I remember her being in my food chemistry course on campus. And so we're glad to see her go out and be successful. And by the way, Kellogg's also has an internship program. So we've had students go there for 4 to 6 to 8 months. And that's really a great learning experience there also. Okay, what's next here?
Do we want to play the video? What do you think, Dr. Smith? It's 8:24. I think we have a little bit of time. It's a 2-minute video.
Yeah.
I thought people might want to see.
Yeah.
You're going to have to tell me if you can see it though. So here we go. Can you see it?
I can hear some through a light.
Yeah,
By the way, okay, there we go. Is there supposed to be a sound with this, or? I don't hear any sound.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can hear the sound.
Yeah, it started out with sound. Well, let me tell you about Martha. Her father is a professor in the music department, and he's an exceptional trombone player. So my son started out at K-State music minor, so I got to hear some of his music, and he also plays in our local band. And she was also in, I believe, the marching band here at K-State University, which is a very demanding activity, very rewarding, but also very demanding. Anyway.
So I was just going to say, I recommend looking at this video. It's really great. She talks about how, her interest in chemistry and being very creative and how she's creating new products at Kellogg's. In particular, one of my favorites, cherry Pop-Tarts. Okay, moving on.
That looked like strawberry.
Well, I didn't know if it was, she made strawberry in her kitchen, but then she pulled out the cherry box. So maybe she helped develop both of them.
Probably.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, another related area is we do have what's called a Food Safety and Security Graduate Certificate. And there are probably over 50 of those in the graduate school here. That this one here is offered with the joint, what's called the IDEA program, in cooperation with other universities, Iowa State, University of Nebraska and Lincoln, and University of Missouri. And the way that works is they offer some of the courses and we offer some of the courses. But you can go to that university, let's say you're enrolled at K-State, you can enroll at their courses without having to go through all the hassle of getting enrolled there. We can co-list it here at K-State. And depending on your interest, this highlights areas in basically food safety and those type of areas. And we have an option, we won't go into that, but there are several different courses you can take based on their certificate. And if you're really, if you plan accordingly, you can take the MS degree with 34 credits. And within that, you can get the certificate credits without having to take extra courses. So we try to stress that. So what else we got here?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Dr. Smith, you know, we talked a lot about working in industry, but of course, there's a lot of opportunities across government, across nonprofits, and that sort of thing. And when I think about this certificate, and Dr. Smith, you can correct me if I'm wrong, this certificate may be very useful if you're looking at a career in the federal government, for example, whether it be the Food Safety Inspection Service or whether it be the FDA. This kind of certificate, I would think, would be pretty valuable for that kind of a career.
Yeah, it's a heavy emphasis on food safety and then security, that kind of thing with food and plants and things of that sort. This one here, I'm always available, and we'll have some more contact information at the end, but I usually do phone calls or emails when I'm speaking with potential students and they have questions. We do an email communication, and I always like to have a follow-up on with phone calls. And Nicole Marple works in she's our program assistant, and she's also very handy too, especially when it comes to contacts with the CollegeNet application system, questions on that. She has a pretty high level of access, so she can go in and look at any problems, and she's very helpful. And sometimes she'll get questions, and if she doesn't think she can answer them, then she'll send them right to me. So some of you probably noted that. Of course, I'm available, and Dr. Thurston, and you have Diane and Brittany also can answer your questions too.
Yeah. So Dr. Smith, you know, the one thing that we didn't really talk about, and I think is probably important to everybody on the line, although you did talk about the opportunity for them to get their tuition possibly paid by their current employers, those opportunities are out there. Certainly a lot of our students do have that, but you know, the other is scholarships that are available. And I was hoping, you know, I kind of want to put Brittany on the spot a little bit. I know that Global Campus provides scholarships every semester. I don't know all the details behind those scholarships. What I can tell you is in fall of 2020, 3 of our food science online students received these scholarships, and these scholarships vary between, I guess it's right about $700 to $1,500 per semester. So Brittany, did you have any other information you want to share about those scholarships?
Yeah, I just put the link to the scholarship page in the chat if anyone would like to go and check those out. Like Dr. Thurston said, we offer them each semester so you can apply over and over again. And then also K-State does offer a tuition payment plan, and I can put that link in the chat as well.
Good.
That's great. Thank you, Brittany.
Yeah, thanks for catching that. So that if your company doesn't pay the full cost, this will make up the difference. So it comes in quite handy.
So I think that's all that we had for you. We wanted to leave time to answer your questions. I'm going to stop sharing the screen because I can't see any of the chat that's coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen, and we'll just open it up to questions. And if you don't don't want to ask a question tonight, or you want to sit down, you want to take a look at our website and look in a little bit more detail about the different faculty and the opportunities that we have at K-State Food Science Institute, please feel free to do so. And then just reach out to Dr. Smith or I, or even a faculty member that you see on the website that you would like to chat about their program. Please feel free to do that.
Yes, we're very friendly, great group, and we really like our students, and we like to hear from you. So we'll always chat with you if you have questions.
So that's a good question. I see that, oops. One question for you, Dr. Smith, is what is the typical amount of time that a student takes to finish their online master's program?
Okay, we figure the average, and this varies, is about 2.5 years. So you can do it 2 to 2.5 years, fairly decent. Of course, it all depends on your family situation and jobs. Some people travel a lot. Well, I don't know now, that's not an issue, but so some of our students have a lot of travel, so it takes a little longer. But about 2.5. And we've had them do it, 1.5 and 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, it's a pretty big span. Just like Dr. Smith said, from my experience, I've been at K-State for a year now, but my experience is that it just absolutely depends on your schedule and your ability to complete the credits that are needed. Some folks I've seen 3 years, but 2.5 years is probably about right. Okay, so another question. So Eric Carlson says, graduates, prospects pursuing PhD. Oh, you're pursuing a PhD, Eric, and any advice? So I assume, Eric, you're not talking about an online PhD. You're talking about coming here to K-State? Or any other institution? So any advice for someone seeking a PhD degree in food science, Dr. Smith?
Okay, what's the question? I don't see it here.
Any advice for a student that wants a PhD in food science?
Well, it depends on what, can we unmute Eric? Is that possible? Do you have a master's degree right now? That's the question. We require a master's degree before you pursue the PhD. But
so so thinking about myself and getting my own PhD, Eric, really have a passion for the subject. The higher you go, there's actually, especially the PhD, the number of positions for you probably aren't as wide. So, really have a passion for that career area. That's very important, and have the dedication, because it's a lot of time and effort, as you can imagine, getting a PhD. And PhDs, for the most part, you're going to have to be on campus to be able to do those.
yeah, that's an online PhD is, sometimes it's done, and we've done it, but it's a rare situation.
Yeah. And have a good mentor. Have a couple good mentors. I mean, not only your major professor, but I would have some other good mentors. Okay, so some more questions we have. And so Eric, feel free to reach out to us directly, and I'm happy to talk to you about my career path and what was important in getting my decisions and getting a PhD, and then the opportunities that I've had since then. I'd be glad to talk to you with that offline. Okay, so let's see. Derek wants to know, what type of career placement do you offer with the online program? Dr. Smith?
Well, we always have jobs coming in, so we're more heavy with the undergraduates, but we do have a lot of companies coming in looking for master's students also. And so, we make these available to our students. Generally speaking, we don't do a lot of career placement because most of our students are, the online students are already in a company. And, but we do have a lot of contacts that are still looking, and we publish those every Monday, what's available. If we see something that looks down your alley, then we try to point you in that direction.
So Derek, we have so many companies that come to K-State. We're having Kellogg's, I think it's Kellogg's this week. We have Hershey's coming to campus. We have so many different National Beef, Cargill, you name it, are coming to campus, and they're looking for students to fill their pipeline. And their pipeline is not only undergraduate degrees, but it's also graduate degrees, more specifically master's degrees. So while we don't place you in a job, we provide opportunities and for you to have one-on-one interactions, either through webinars or through meetings with folks from these industry groups. They come in and they actually talk to our students, talk about job opportunities, and you'll hear about those opportunities and be able to apply for those. There's also internships. But really in a master's degree, you probably are already working somewhere, so you probably don't need an internship, but we have plenty of those kinds of opportunities with companies both in the state and out of the state. So, there's a question here that Brittany, I think we're gonna need your help with. It says, I'm curious about costs. Is there a per credit hour rate? And maybe you can post, Brittany, the link to the Global Campus site that actually talks about tuition and tuition costs and fees. That would probably be helpful.
Yeah, I'm just searching for that link right now and I will post it in the chat. Currently, we do have a reduced tuition rate at the moment due to COVID-19. So the rate is set at $515.50 per credit hour, and that rate is locked in until the end of the summer semester.
That's
Okay,
the
thank you,
graduate
Brittany.
rate?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, with the previous rate, it's about, the total degree is about 28,000. That's what we've sort of been telling people. Now,
Okay, so Carol asked, if classes are not live, how do you get any class questions answered? That's a really good question, Carol. Dr. Smith, I know you have online classes. How do you answer students' questions?
typically by email, and then sometimes follow up by phone conversation.
And I think, so correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Smith, but
What?
yeah, different instructors do it differently, I think.
Yeah.
So I think some will actually have live sessions with you via Zoom or whatnot. I don't know if they use MS Teams or Zoom or any those kinds of application will have live sessions with their students and answer questions. So it's really going to be dependent on the instructor, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see the next one. So Sheldon Richburg wants to know, can you start with a certificate and convert to a master's?
Well, technically you can. We're probably going to make it so that you have to be in the master's program to pursue the certificate. But that's something we're discussing. But yeah, we do have a couple of students right now that are doing the certificate, and those credits would count toward the master's degree.
Okay, so Carol wants to know, could you go over the food chemistry, food micro class part again? So what she really wants to know is, do you mean if you do the undergraduate, so I guess if you have a food science degree, that you've already taken the chemistry and food micro courses, you can take the advanced level next without prerequisites? Yes,
and generally because the advanced food chemistry is advanced, but we figure you have a good enough background usually with the food chemistry. Some students want to take it. So the food micro, we don't require you to retake that. The same with food analysis. If you're in the undergraduate program now, we wouldn't require you to take that. Some students want to go ahead and take it. And I found that the refresher is usually pretty good for them. So
Okay, so the next one, I think I can probably get this one. Where do you post the opportunities? So once you're a food science student here at K-State, you'll be on a listserv, and our program assistant, which when you come to K-State, you'll get to know her quite well. Her name's Nicole Marple. She actually puts together a weekly update. And in that weekly update, there'll be positions, there'll be internship opportunities, scholarship opportunities, you name it, a laundry list of opportunities for both not only our students, but also our faculty and staff. So that's where those are posted. Is there anywhere else that you can think, Dr. Smith, that we post those opportunities? That's the only place that, at least for our internal folks.
no, but if something special comes up, then we usually we'll circulate it, but we also have it circulated within, have Nicole
Yeah.
circulate it. So everybody's
Yes.
aware of it.
That's true. Yeah. So just to
We
give you an
have quite a
example,
few,
there was an opportunity for a fellowship back in DC, and one of our students had a real interest in policy work. And so I sent it specifically to that student, but then I also shared it with the entire online and on-campus graduate student listservs. Okay, if the PACE is on your own, can you see the entire course at one time? For instance, does it take the traditional one semester to finish? Does it necessarily take the entire semester to finish the class? So basically, can you go through all of the lessons at your own pace?
Not usually. And there's a couple of reasons. We like to pace it out. So like with my courses and a lot of them, you will have quizzes, exams, assignments throughout the duration of the course. And another thing is, if we have the course set up that you can just take it all at once, either at the beginning or the end, then it's really not an online course, just a global online course. It's actually a correspondence course. And so our certifying agency frowns upon that. So we've had discussions about that in the past. And so generally you're going to have a schedule that you take it throughout the semester. Quizzes, assignments, etc. Now you can I let my students in my classes, I let them view the entire materials there, but the quizzes and exams, they're going to be scheduled throughout the semester.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Smith. Another good question for you. Do we require a GRE?
At this time, we don't, and we did away with it last spring because of issues with people not being able to get to testing centers and things of that sort. So at this point, we don't require the GRE. And I'm not sure we'll even come back to it if once we 2022. I'm not sure about that.
So the next question, do you have students pursuing a food science master's degree while working in a different industry? Any advice for switching industries?
Very seldom. So you're just going to have to hustle. If you're somebody if you're looking at, you're in a different industry, it's probably best that you try to get into the food industry if you can. But that's tough to do. So
so Justin, what industry are you in? Oh, R&D construction. Oh, very interesting.
well,
Wow. So yeah, I would love to talk to you and hear more about why food science. That's great. That's great.
that's a change.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So with a background in chemistry. So I don't think we mentioned Dr. Smith is a chemist. So Justin, maybe you need, I'm sorry?
You can't go wrong with chemistry.
That's right. They're the best people, right?
I started out in biology as a biology major, so I didn't find out about food science until got my PhD. So
So
by the way-
Justin, I'd recommend reaching out to Dr. Smith and talking more to him. You may have quite a few other classes that you're going to need to take before you can enter the program. I assume you have a bachelor's degree. If not, you might want to look at the online bachelor's degree in
yeah,
food science.
you know, and I can, we have an undergraduate online, and Deanna Reslip, Dr. Reslip, her and I cooperate a lot together. If she gets an undergraduate student that probably should be in the master's program, she'll send them over to me and vice versa. And so we communicate with each other on a regular basis. So yeah, contact one of us or contact me, and I'll take a look at, you know, we'll chat more about this. So
it looks like Sherry's also in a different industry. She's in the pharma industry. And so I know we have a lot of students, and Scott or Dr. Smith, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we have a lot of students that start off thinking that they want to go into the health industry, whether it be, you know, pharma, whether it be, you know,
well,
pre-med or that
pre-med.
sort of thing. Well, food science fits in really, really well. And some actually end up switching and staying in food science. So it's a fantastic career.
Yeah, that would be a good, science-wise, it's a good jump. It's not hard to do. I saw another question, by the way, before I forget. Is the tuition different for out-of-state students? The online tuition is a fixed rate no matter where you're from, and it's between on campus and off campus. It's between the out-of-state and on campus. Traditionally, though, it's changed a little bit because of the COVID situation, but so it's a little bit more than being on campus, but quite a bit less than being charged out of state.
So another question for you, Dr. Smith, for quizzes and exams, would we need to take them at a specific time during the day, or can they be scheduled around work hours?
Well, here's the deal. Until COVID-19 hit last spring, we had some professors that would have the students go to testing sites, and you'd have to pay a fee and everything. Pretty much the university didn't like that. So they discouraged that. So now you can do, it's pretty much by computer, and there are different companies that serve software that does screen captures, and you have a camera, and they watch your keystroke to make sure you're not cheating. I have never done that. I do online tests, and they're open. Usually I have them open for a couple of days. So you can go in, it's time limited, and a lot of professors are doing that now, instructors. So what you do is you go in, and let's say you have 90 minutes to take an exam, and once you start it, you have to finish it, and you can start it, you can do it at 2 o'clock in the morning. So there's no time frame on that. So we're pretty much getting away from this going to a testing center, because nobody wants to go into that kind of situation, and it gets to be very expensive. And so I've never done that, but some of my colleagues have, but they're getting away from that. So it's actually, it simplifies things a lot. I've never really worried too much about the students cheating. And my philosophy is, if you're cheating, you're just cheating yourself. So, and quite often, I probably shouldn't say this, but it takes a lot more effort sometimes to cheat than to learn material. So when you get yourself set up to cheat, you're going to actually learn quite a bit of material. I've seen that on campus too. So based on the grades, my students aren't cheating that much. So usually it's a time limitation. So you have to know the material. So, but that's what we've done. We've changed over pretty much to everything's pretty much online, no testing centers, because that can be expensive. It could be 25, 30 bucks, 50 bucks a visit, and you have to track one down, and that's really hard to do right now.
Okay, so another question we have from Derek is, would you consider restaurants or food service as a decent bridge for this program? And you know what, Derek, I'm guessing you're interested in this program because of the work that you do. Am I right? What type of work is best for a prospective student?
That's a very good bridge. And because you'll have the food service aspect, and then you'll get the food science. So you have the chemistry background. On the reverse, sometimes we'll get culinary students with a culinary degree, and they're at a company, but they can't get promoted very well, so they get the food science. So they got the cooking and that aspect of it, and then they tie it in with the science. So those work very well together. So.
Okay, so the next question is the entire program online, or do you have to come to campus at the end for final exams and a presentation?
Well, it's all online, and we don't require people to come to campus right now for a final presentation because of COVID-19, but we used to. We discontinued that. So now we have an online a Zoom presentation, and then we open it up to students, grad students, whatever faculty that want to attend. And then we have a oral exam after the presentation. Now, right at this point, we're allowed to have students come in. In fact, we'll have one coming in next week. The student wanted to come in and do his presentation in person. And so we're going to let him do that. That's one of Abby's students. And he's up in Nebraska, so it's not too far of a drive. But I think that's the only one we're going to have this semester. And I really miss that because you get to meet the faculty and everything else. It's just more personable. But at this point, we just don't think we can have you come on campus. And, you know, some people are scared of flying. I'm not real wild about doing that. So nobody wants to fly in town, and it's just a big hassle. So we're doing pretty much everything by Zoom. So you'd have to do a Zoom presentation, and then there would be question answering. You'd be open to anybody who wants to attend. And we send out notices to all our students to see these sessions. And then we close it up, and then you have the committee will give you questions, and at the end they will vote. Pass or fail a ballot. Did you perform satisfactory? And if you did, then you get then you're done. That's basically, except for graduation.
I'll say those Zoom presentations have gone quite well.
Yeah,
they've gone quite well.
Yeah. So a lot of times now I'm at work just because I want the double wide screen, but you know, there's some days I'm here. Might be a meeting around the corner, so we're all getting sort of lazy too. But a lot of people, it's just really hard to get everybody together if you want to have social distancing. And we have a lot of restrictions in our classrooms, how many people we can have in the classroom, where you can sit. So I hope that maybe in a year we can start having people come back to campus, because before COVID-19, it was pretty much required that you come on campus.
Okay, so we have another question from Jen. If there are prerequisite courses that are needed to be fulfilled, would you allow admission while completing these courses in another college?
Generally, we'd like to have the courses finished before you come in. And that's because you need the courses as background for some of the courses you'll be taking. So in some cases, maybe one course here and there will let you come in without the prereqs, but it's pretty much, the faculty pretty much think that the courses should be completed before you come in.
Okay, the next one oops, wrong one. What is the graduation rate for online master's program?
It's not quite 100%. We've only had, I think, one student fail. So we've had students that struggled, and if they didn't perform well in the exam, we try to give them an opportunity to correct that, and they come back and make a correction. And that is also true on campus too. Our failure rate is extremely low. So
yeah. I mean,
so
you have those students every now and again that start and that don't finish. That happens too.
Yeah, we have students that get started and things change in their life, and they just They drop out and then sometimes they come back.
Yep.
I have one that dropped out 3 years ago, and she was my advisee at the time, and so she applied and she's back in. So
Great. Okay, so our past presentations, oh, this is a good question and a good thought. Are past presentations available to view? So the final defenses. So I guess I could probably answer this no at this time, but that's an interesting thought, Eric. Dr. Smith, do you know of any that we've been able to share that we've gotten permissions from?
we haven't been doing this. Of course, we weren't taping them before, so and we do have to be. We have to get permission, really, from the student to have it posted. And there are some situations where we can't record it or we cannot release it because sometimes they're talking about company proprietary information. And I tell them that if they want to talk about that in their presentation, they can, and we won't share it. So, but that's a good something that we should look at in the future.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Thanks, Eric. So another question, are the prerequisite courses listed on the website?
Yes, they are.
They are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you
So
go
what are
to,
go ahead.
if you go to the website at the very beginning of this, and you'll see down below there's the graduate programs, and up above there's 2 places you can click, and just keep clicking future students, and you'll get to that page, and it'll be there. And if you don't have a prereq, we make recommendations for other schools that will offer those, because sometimes K-State doesn't have all the online courses. It's real surprising. Some of the university departments just don't, the faculty are not interested in doing online. So we're probably the most prolific on campus, one of the few, or one of several, but there are, for example, chemistry has a couple of courses. I don't know if biology has any courses online. So, but we can send you to another, there's a community college here in Kansas that does a very good job with online courses, and they have those prereqs.
Okay, so it looks like our time is winding down, but I want to get this last question in. I just lost it, but basically, I think it was A. Moline wants to know, what are the biggest differences experience-wise between an online master's and getting a master's on campus here in Manhattan, Kansas?
Well, I think the biggest difference is the online program is coursework only. And on campus, when you come in, you'll have an advisor, and you'll typically have some type of research or scholarly activity that you will do over the course of 2 years. So it takes about 2 years on campus. So it is quite a bit of difference. But we haven't noticed any difference in how we're perceived. A master's on campus versus a master's by distance is perceived out in the industry or even some of the academic world. So, but yeah, it's quite a bit different. Plus, if you're online, you're going to stay home at your job and make a lot more money than you are as a graduate student. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I think if you're really interested in those science courses, those hands-on lab experiences, probably on campus. And if you want to do a research, a thesis, then being on campus is probably what you should choose. Yeah. So Brittany, did we have any more time, or should we be wrapping up?
Yeah, we're about at time. I know there's probably some questions that we weren't able to get to. So if you guys would like to email us at K-State Online or email Dr. Smith or Dr. Thurston, we'll be sure to get those last questions answered for you. And I also just want to thank Dr. Smith and Dr. Thurston for that wonderful presentation, as well as thanking everybody for joining us here tonight. If you're ready to apply, please visit our website at online.ksu.edu and select how to apply for detailed instructions. We are able, We also want to make sure to let everybody know that we do have application fee waivers available for the master's degree for spring of 2021. So feel free to reach out to us at online@ksu.edu when you're ready to apply, and we will be able to provide you with a code for that.